Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Watchers live stream for June 17th, 2024. My name is Garrett.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are your beautiful hosts. And, of course, we already have our friend Nani in the comment section. What's up?
We're sharp with you.
What's up with you? Hopefully you're having a fantastic night so far, keeping Millie company. And awesome. Yeah, well, before we kind of dive into the stories, we have a lot of stories to talk about this week. Kevin, how you been over the last week?
I'm doing good. Had my finals for school, so we'll see how that goes. And then starting school again. Had another job interview today, so we'll see how that goes as well.
Yeah, hopefully you nailed it and we get something
hopefully.
pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
As for me, not a whole lot going on over the last week. Had Father's Day over the weekend, stuff like that, but nothing else really. So,
what'd you guys do for Father's Day?
We just had dinner at my parents' house.
Oh, nice. Okay, we went to my Stacy, my dad, and my mom. We went to BJ's restaurant.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and jump into the stories this week, and starting out with the biggest story. And finally, the box office is back on track. Inside Out 2 has scored the biggest 2024 opening so far, and is the second biggest opening for an animated film ever, getting $295 million worldwide in its first weekend.
Who's number one? Second biggest opening ever. Who's the first?
The biggest animated movie? I think it's Incredibles 2.
Well, it did take 10 years to make, so.
Opening time. Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Only $30 million more than it made in the U.S. than Inside Out 2, which is great because not only does Pixar need to win, but the box office needed to win, and we kind of needed more butts and seats. So.
Yeah, I mean, I expect out of this movie to do that because it is an adult and kid movie. It's split right down the middle, I feel like, especially with number one. I haven't seen number two yet, but I wouldn't see why it was isn't a big success.
Yeah, it's I'll talk about a little more when we get to the review section. So.
All right. So up next is Until Dawn is getting a film with David F. Sandberg directing. He did Lights Out and Annabelle Creation, which I'm kind of excited about then because Lights Out was pretty damn good.
Lights Out was pretty decent, and Annabelle Creation is the only movie of the three Annabelles that's worth any kind of time, I would say. So, yeah, David F. Sandberg, go for it. Actually, I think I want to double check something. I want to see if it's the same director as the Shazam movies.
He does sound familiar.
Shazam was directed by David F. Sandberg. Yeah, so he did Shazam and Shazam: Fury of the Gods as well. So
okay,
but we're fine. I think we already announced that we were getting an Until Dawn film adaptation, but now we know there's a bunch of really smaller actors that were just cast in it. Wasn't really worth sharing a news story for, but great director to do it. So hopefully we get a good one. Up next, Jurassic World 4 has started shooting and has a synopsis. So Jurassic World 4 is going to be a completely fresh take, launching a new Jurassic era following 3 adults and 3 teens getting stuck on the island, which already sounds leagues better than Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, because we're back on the island, apparently.
I thought the island blew up.
Well, one of them.
Oh.
They used the other islands, too.
That's true.
But as far as the adults who are going to be on the island, we do know Scarlett Johansson, Rupert Friend, as we already talked about, but also Mahershala Ali, Oscar winner Mahershala Ali, will be on the island as well. So really looking forward to it. Hopefully they can knock it out of the park. Oh, and it looks like we lost Kevin.
Oh, I'm here still. There we are. I'm here.
There you go. But yeah, looking forward to this one. So.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I can always use what's it called? Dinosaurs in movies. Doesn't matter if they're bad or good.
Yep. There's never enough dinosaur movies.
Exactly. Next up, It Follows 2 will be bigger and darker, says star Micah. I don't know. Micah. Minori. Minori.
Monroe.
Oh yeah, it has an accent on there. I saw it. Yeah, I mean, isn't it called They Follow though? Not It Follows too.
There hasn't been I thought there wasn't an official title yet, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can't wait for it. So
yeah, neither can I.
Get into the movie theaters.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And Michael Monroe is actually going to be in the upcoming Longlegs as well. So
okay.
Starting to cut our teeth a little bit on the horror genre. So next up, speaking of Jurassic World, the Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover movie is getting the writer from Jurassic World, which is cool because I think they were able to put some life into Jurassic World. Unfortunately, they also did Fallen Kingdom, which wasn't that good of a movie, and have done a couple of other projects that haven't been that good. But I think that in terms of doing like a blockbuster film, I think they're picking someone right for the job here.
So I read it as Jurassic World was going to be in Transformers and G.I. Joe, this movie. So I was like, I'm down. That's fine with me.
Well, that's not what it was, unfortunately.
No.
But yeah.
Director Lee Cronin has a new film with Blumhouse and James Wan's Atomic Monsters releasing in April 17th, 2026. So I guess we'll probably get some release trailers maybe at the end of this year or beginning of
probably
next.
More next year. Lee Cronin being the director of the recent Evil Dead Rise. So definitely starting his career off right and getting some big names behind him. So looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah.
Next up, Emily Blunt is in talks to star in Spielberg's next film. We don't know which film this is going to be, if it's the UFO one or whatever other projects he's working on, but Emily Blunt is in talks to star in it.
Nice. I mean, hopefully it's that UFO one because that just sounds very interesting.
Either that or his remake of Bullet. Either one, I'm totally here for. So
yeah. Up next, Nobody 2 is rumored to start filming at the end of the summer. Nobody is the one with the... I don't remember the actor's name, but he's getting punched in the poster.
Yeah, right? Nobody is with... I forget the actor's name. It's killing me, but he played Saul in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Played like a retired hitman who gets kind of called back into the world. And kind of a John Wick-y type movie, but... was really popular, gained a lot more popularity after it came out. So looks like they're doing a sequel. And I will say the first one was pretty good.
Wasn't this one a COVID movie? I feel like it was just starting to get back to normal when this movie came out. Okay,
yeah, released in theaters right when they were starting to reopen.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. Up next, Coraline director Henry Selick is working on another adaptation of a Neil Gaiman book or novel story called The Ocean at the End of the Lane. No word yet if this is going to be stop motion animated. I hope it is, or what kind of film it's going to be. But I'm all on board. Henry Selick hasn't made a bad film. I mean, just only one kind of slightly disappointing one. But other than that, I'm totally down.
Yeah, I mean, Coraline was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I haven't checked out any of his other work that I know of because I'll just watch movies and don't know like the director. So, but yeah, Coraline was really good. So let's see again our famous quote. Let's see.
Well, we'll wait and see. Yeah.
Yep. All right. And next up, Dwayne Johnson's production company signs a first look deal with Disney. Oh, nice. Okay. I don't know why I stuttered over that, but
yeah. Any project they're going to be working on, Disney gets first look to see if they want to, produce it. Which
Moana 2.
Well, we're already
live action.
And the live action one. We're getting a lot of Moana over the next 2 years.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's cool. Good for Dwayne. Next up, Robert Pattinson is teaming up with the director of Smile in the upcoming Smile 2 to do a remake of Possession, which is a fan favorite, not a fan favorite, but like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a not even a cult classic. It's like a letterboxed like huge movie buff, like art house people love Possession. It's one of the highest rated horror movies on Letterboxd. And they are planning on
the one with the morphing face.
No, it's the one with on the cover is the woman's back kind of going down. I don't know. That's all I can describe. The synopsis says a young woman left her family for an unspecified reason. The husband determines to find out the truth and starts following his wife. At first, he suspects that a man is involved, but gradually he finds out more and more strange behaviors and bizarre incidents that indicate something more than a possessed love affair.
Interesting.
So, yeah. But let's go ahead. We'll take a quick little break here from the stories. We've got some comments to get through here. Matt Walls, I want them to go full Michael Bay with the Transformers G.I. Joe movie. Those are my requirements.
It could.
I mean, I'm not full Michael Bay. Don't make it a bad movie. But
explosions.
Explosions. Yep. I worked at a theater when Nobody came out. It was a hit. Pun intended.
See, that's how I remembered because Nadia was still at the movie theater when it came out.
Yep. Leica Studios has been pretty quiet for a while. Maybe they might be the ones working on the Coraline director's movie. I hope so. Leica's one of the best animation studios in the game. So hopefully they're the ones working on it. Alrighty.
Okay, I'll be up. Producer Jerry Brockheimer says Top Gun 3 will be a while, which that's okay.
Yep, take your time. We don't need it immediately.
Nope, we don't. Let number 2 simmer down a little bit, because I still feel like it's a very new movie
and popular. So I mean, let it have time to marinate a little bit. In some potentially unfortunate news, Sony Pictures has acquired the Alamo Drafthouse and Fantastic Fest. Obviously, Alamo Drafthouse being a hugely popular movie theater chain. Very much known for if you get caught on your cell phone during the movie, you're issued a lifetime ban.
Damn.
So that's fun, which I think should be acquired at every theater. But also doing Fantastic Fest. This is really interesting because I feel like they're really going to prioritize their own stuff. And the audiences that go to Alamo Drafthouse are not the kind that want to see Garfield only.
Like big blockbuster movies. They want to see
everything. The small stuff and the big stuff, and not just Sony movies. So hopefully they can play kind of, hey, we're just gonna fund it, kind of a thing. And I get doing increased showings because it's your theater, but hopefully this isn't a bad thing. And then Fantastic Fest is a huge event where people get to debut a lot of horror and genre films for the first time. Think the Cannes Film Festival for horror. And it's unfortunate that Sony's going to own that, because hopefully that means that they won't just kind of shove their stuff in. We don't need to see the world premiere of Kraven the Hunter at Fantastic Fest. Just I don't know. We'll see what happens, but you never know.
It might just be a sponsor for them. It'll still be called the Fantastic Fest, but sponsored by Sony or something like that. So
something. I mean, Netflix owns the Egyptian Theater in Los Angeles, and they do all of their premieres there. But other than that, the theater operates independently. So hopefully it's that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But we'll see.
Pixar has no plans to do a live action remakes, and keep it that way.
Yes, please.
Because I don't need an Inside Out live action remake. It's already great. Up doesn't need a live action remake. None of these do, because they're timeless because of the animation style. Yep,
that's about right. Next up, big news for me, and potentially how we get Kevin interested in Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim, is getting its first look images. We've already talked a couple times about The War of the Rohirrim, but this is the upcoming anime film releasing in theaters, which is super exciting. We actually have the images here pulled up, so we can kind of see some first look images for the film. Kind of dealing with Helm Hammerhand, who is mentioned in the Lord of the Rings films. This takes place before the films. But he had a daughter who was never named in the books, but she was important in one of the battles, so they're making the movie about her. I think this looks gorgeous.
Kind of original concept, too. It's not piggybacking off of the other Lord of the Rings movies, which is nice, which is cool to see that they can spread out like stretch their wings a little bit on getting new movies out there like this.
Yeah, and it is the teams that bring the live action movies to the screen are working behind the scenes on this as well. So it's not just like, out of the blue. Like it is an actual Lord of the Rings thing. So it's super exciting that it's going to be anime too. Hopefully that gets more people interested, and hopefully that'll make it more interesting for you as well.
Yeah, we'll see. I have to watch the other ones first. Steamboat Willie horror movie will star Terrifier's David Howard Thornton. Again, these are just going to be fun, cheesy movies. So that's what I'm hoping for, and that's what I'm going to get, hopefully.
The Terrifier clown is going to be Willie.
Yep.
It's kind of nuts.
Is Willie the boat, or is Willie Mickey?
I believe Willie is the boat, because it's still Mickey.
So is it a killer boat?
No, it's supposed to be Mickey.
Oh,
okay. The killer. Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. Speaking of horror related, M. Night Shyamalan's Trap will be releasing 1 week earlier on August 2nd now. Nice. So we are getting it a little bit earlier, which is nice. Hopefully it's a pretty good movie. The reviews seem to be pretty decent. Not amazing, but pretty decent. And unfortunately, the twist is in the trailer. So people have said don't expect anything else.
Oh, okay. See, trailers suck. Sorry. Some trailers suck. Some of them
Some do. Yeah, but it sold me on the movie. I want to go see it, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Jordan Peele's new film is set to release in October 23rd, 2026. Do we have any new information about this name?
Nope, no name. He just teased the date today.
Okay. Hey,
posted an image.
I mean, I've liked most of his work. Well, he's done three.
He's done three films. Yeah.
I haven't seen Us yet, but I've seen the other two, Get Out and Nope, which were very enjoyable for me. So I can't wait to watch Us and then see what this new movie is about. Yeah,
no idea if it's going to be a horror movie yet. It's coming out around Halloween, so maybe, but never know. And the last three of his have definitely had more horror elements to them. So we'll have to wait and see. Next up, The Batman Part 2 script is still being worked on and will be ready when it's ready, says James Gunn, which is exactly how it should be. Do not rush this movie because the first one is great. And I want to see a good second part.
I definitely agree. And I love how he says when it's ready and not pushing it or not making sure that it needs to be pushed up a date or anything like that. Let it just... Because now it makes me at least feel more gets me a little bit more anxious to go see the movie, saying that it's not ready, but it's going to be good, is what I'm hearing.
Absolutely. And last one up. This is super exciting for us.
Yeah, Longlegs releases its teaser website, thebirthdayMurders.net. And it is very interesting.
So, for those of you who don't know, Longlegs is an upcoming horror film that Kevin and I are beyond excited for. And it deals with a serial killer. And so the marketing team behind Longlegs has put up this website that looks like it was made in the time period when the movie's coming out, which is just absolutely incredible. You get to see a little bit more backstory on what's going to be happening in the movie. But then also you get to see a lot of the crime scene photos and the story behind the killings that the character Nicolas Cage plays has done. And something real interesting is when you go all the way to the bottom, there's a link right here that you can click on, and it sends you a zip file. And that zip file, once you put in the password, which you have to find, it just gives you the photos from the crime scenes that you can just have on your computer. So I'll have to clear those off.
This is marketing. This
is so well done, and highly recommend if you want something creepy to read through, definitely read through this. It is something special. And it just further proves that, I mean, obviously for some people, maybe Longlegs is getting marketed and it's just going to be like a hype train that doesn't deliver. I can't see that being the case with the earlier reviews we're seeing. So I don't know. The website is pretty damn cool.
So I agree.
But if you want to check it out for yourself, it's thebirthaymurders.net. Alrighty, and that's it for our news stories this week. Let's go ahead and jump into the comments that we have gotten. I don't think we have any Alamo Drafthouse theaters where I live. I believe there's only 2 or 3. There's one in Austin, Texas. I know that. And there's one in LA, but I don't know anywhere else. So
I've heard of them, but I've never seen them or know what they are.
Yeah.
First off, maybe because I'm a drunk, but it's Draft House. I was like, oh, they picked up a Draft House for
I think they serve alcohol there, but
oh, okay.
Yeah. I think Alamo is only in Texas, or at least it used to be. It used to be, and then they did expand to a couple other locations. I know there is one in LA, which we need to go to sometime. I think it'd be fantastic. Pixar doesn't do live action remakes, but that doesn't mean that Disney won't try, of course.
Yeah.
Disney obviously also has more history with over 100 years, so I think that a lot more of their films, it's been long enough where you could see it potentially being feasible, but Pixar's only been around 20 years. So, and I wouldn't do it anyway. Their style is just too important.
Yeah.
The art style looks good. Just hope it's a good story for Lord of the Rings. Yep, 100%. Which, I hope it will be. So, that's all I can say. Hope Jordan Peele uses IMAX cameras again for his new movie. 100%. And hopefully it is an IMAX. Unless it's a more, grounded, less bigger affair. Nope was really cool in IMAX, but, if it's another movie like Get Out, we don't really need that in IMAX, but I'll take it. So, alrighty. And let's move right along into the trailers that came out this week, Kevin. And I know what stood out to me, but what stood out to you?
The first one on the list, probably.
Well, what stood out to you?
Paddington in Peru.
Okay, yeah. Paddington in Peru looks great. We'll have to see if it lives up to the first 2. It's a different director, so we'll find out. But also The Wild Robot. Also is still looking fantastic. So
everything else, I didn't really look at anything else except for Paddington, and I didn't even watch the new Wild Robot one, but I saw the Paddington one. It just looks fun. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
Yep, it's just fun, lighthearted stuff. And there is a documentary on there called Skywalker's A Love Story. It should be on the bottom of the screen right now. It is not about Star Wars. It is about people who tightrope walk. So could
have fooled me.
Yep, exactly. Pixar's they're 38. Never mind. I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. Alrighty. Well, Kevin, now it's one of our favorite parts of the game. We get to talk about the movies we watched over the course of the last week.
3, 4. I'm seeing how many things you did for me.
I think I had 4 and you had 3.
I had 3.
Which is funny because I was like, I didn't watch that much this week. But up first for me, we'll kind of go back and forth here. Up first for me was Remembering Gene Wilder. It's a documentary about the comedic actor Gene Wilder from movies like Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, and several other films, of course. And Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory being one of his biggest ones for sure. And it's a kind of a documentary about his career and kind of how it started and where it went. And he's one of my favorite comedic actors of all time. So it was really nice to see all this about him and learn about him. But unfortunately, it just doesn't delve enough into his early life. I would have liked to see more of that. It's a lot more of, this is when he got picked up to do The Producers, and then his career took off. And I would have rather seen more like, this is where he grew up, this is what he did, kind of a thing. But hey, it's still a great one. So,
yep. True. Okay, we watched. We were doing a puzzle, me and Nadia, and we were watching House at the End of the Street. I always remembered the poster for this with Jennifer Lawrence's face on it and then the blood coming down it. This was very disappointing to me. It could have gone so many different ways, but it didn't. And you could have made a much better movie with the certain directions that they would want to go. They don't use the sister that killed the family a lot, which I wish she would have been in the house a lot more and everything. But it settles kind of like a romantic thingy, but it just wasn't good. Don't go watch it.
Well, there you go. In case you were wondering, Kevin says don't watch it.
Yep.
Up next for me was Inside Out 2, which I went and saw on it's actually Sunday or yesterday, Father's Day morning, and I thought it was pretty darn good. I think it's I don't think it's as good as the first one. It definitely feels like it's paced way too quickly. I think it feels like it almost wants to just get to the end as quickly as possible and not spend a lot of time on its really creative elements. But I think the reason why a lot of us adults are going to enjoy this movie is because of the representation of anxiety, and probably the one of the better ways that they've ever done an anxiety attack happens in this movie, and it is really well done, just as well done as I think it was in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. But it's a great movie. Pixar is really coming back from a couple of not as good films, but I think that they're starting to come back with this, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. So
puts them in the right direction a little bit.
Yeah.
Next one up for me, Bourne Identity. I'd never seen this movie. I knew of the "oh my god, it's Jason Bourne" meme all the time, but never watched the full movie. It was really good. I liked the fact that we know that he is a Bourne killer, but he doesn't remember anything. He has to kind of get his memories back in a type of way. So I really enjoyed it. So I gave it a 78 out of 100.
87.
Yeah, 87. Dyslexia.
No worries. Up next for me was a movie just came out on HBO Max, Am I Okay? Starring Dakota Johnson of Madam Web fame. And luckily, she's a lot better here. Am I Okay? Is a very realistic and grounded comedy about friendship, but then also kind of coming out. Obviously, Dakota Johnson's character comes out as lesbian, and it's like in her 30s, which is stressful for her. And the fact that her best friend of her entire life, is leaving to go to London. And so it's just a kind of a whole mess of things that come together. It definitely has the feeling of an indie comedy, but I think the way that it handles kind of discovering yourself and kind of coming out is really, really well done, and feels like it was written from the heart and from personal experience, which is nice because I went through a similar thing in my near 30s, and so I feel like I was able to connect with the movie very well. And then also it just it's the tone and the vibe just feels very real. Everything other than that, it just doesn't do enough to be a memorable film. It's not one that I'm going to go back and watch again, but I'm very happy that I did, because it gave me a couple chuckles, and it was also just really well done.
And have you seen the one on HBO Max? It's something about turtles, and I forget the name of the title now. God damn it! No,
you'll have to look. You'll have to let me know. But last movie you did before your assignments here.
Yeah, Tomb Raider. I saw a clip on Instagram or shorts on YouTube that had a really cool aspect of how she finds this mummified mummy, and I said, oh, okay, I'll watch it. It was very disappointing a little bit. I thought it would be a lot more actiony, more Indiana Jones with puzzles and filled. And if you don't know who Lara Croft is, it's a good kind of jumping off point, because it doesn't really go into a lot of the video game aspects of Lara Croft. It's kind of its own movie, which is nice, but just wish there was a lot more puzzles than anything else in there.
Sure. All right, and the last one up for me is going to be Once Upon a Studio, which is a short that Disney put out last year. I thought I had reviewed it, but I never did. It's a quick little short film going over 100 years of Disney, and the entire premise is that all of its animated characters come to life after the animators leave to take a big class photo type image. And it's wonderful just because you get all the different animation styles from the early days through the 3D era. You get characters that are very popular, but you also get characters who are kind of forgotten. We get characters from Atlantis and Treasure Planet and all these films that are more forgotten. Not forgotten, but by Disney forgotten. And they get their moment to shine. And it's a really fun short. It, a 90 out of 100 is what it's going to get. It was just a fun little short. And really well done, too. And I will say, there is a part when they're all kind of running outside to take the picture, and Mickey stops at a photo of Walt, and that moment brings a tear to the eye. I don't know. It's just really well done. So if you haven't seen it before, it's free on YouTube if you want to watch it, or if you have Disney Plus, it's there as well. But yeah.
Okay. Oh, the movie that I wanted to tell, it might be your movie if I get picked, is called Turtles All the Way Down.
I've heard the title, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's about anxiety and like it looks kind of funny. So.
Oh, all right. Before we get into the assignments, we have a comment here. Kevin, no bonus points for House at the End of the Street for having Yo Girl J-Law?
No. Because, okay, I had to choose between a lot of movies, and I heard House at the End of the Street. I was like, oh, let's do that one. And Nadia's like, oh, because Jennifer Lawrence is in it. And I go, no, I've always wanted to see it. So that's her running joke, is because Jennifer Lawrence was in it.
Gotcha. You know, she is as old as we are.
Yeah, she's older than me.
I think she's your age, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
well, hey, you can. Yeah, she's doing great.
Yeah, I knew. See, exactly. That's what she does.
Is it safe to say Once Upon a Studio is a better celebration than Wish? Absolutely, 100%.
Yep.
And that's where we'll leave that. All right, let's go ahead and get into the assignments this week from the Wheel of Fate. And I'll go up first with my short, which was Hair Tonic. Hair Tonic being a Elmer Fudd and Bugs Bunny short, which was a lot of fun. I had never actually seen this short before, which was very exciting. And I really love it when Elmer Fudd is not a hunter and Bugs messes with him. It's fantastic, but it feels a bit prophetical with COVID and quarantine. I will say that. If you see the short, you'll know what I mean. It's still mostly funny throughout. But there is a fourth wall break at the end of it that is hysterical. And so definitely raise it up a couple of points.
Good. Awesome. Mine is the Dover Boys I'm just going to call it the Dover Boys.
There you go.
Yeah, because this was really a fun movie short as well. The girl does get a little annoying, the one that gets kidnapped by like the person who doesn't like the Dover Boys, so she does get really annoying. The animation's still really awesome in this, and the Dover Boys don't really speak that much in there as well. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Okay. But they don't speak too much, so I thought they would have a bigger role in it, but the villain is the main character in this whole thing. So, but it was still good. It had some funny moments, and for the time, the animation looks great.
I'll steal it. No one will ever know. Oh, that meme is great. First up, the first live-action film for me was Greyhound, starring Tom Hanks, the first Apple TV Plus movie that ever came out, and it feels like it. It feels like a straight-to-streaming film, but one from a time when that didn't guarantee a good thing. Tom Hanks is the best part of the movie, but he's not even great in the movie. Like, it feels like he's doing it because he is kind of knowledgeable and likes the source material, but he's not putting in a performance that's worth anything. But like, there are moments of good in it. Like, everything that takes place in the lower parts of the ship are great. There's some good tactics in the film, but it's just not a very exciting film, and it feels more like an hour-and-a-half ad for World of Warships than it does a film. So it's okay. It's not boring by any means. If you're a World War II buff, you may enjoy it far more than I did, but I wouldn't say it's worth recommending, unfortunately. So 53 is what I gave it.
Good. Cool. My first one up is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. And this one was a very long movie, but it's going over a whole life of a person, so it's understandable. The makeup and the visual effects are fantastic in this movie. How he ages. Yeah, and ages in this movie is fantastic. The story behind it is also really cool as well. But it's I don't think I would watch it again. Even if somebody asked me to watch it, I probably would not. And that's what gave it such 72 is a low score for me when the movie's like this good. Because it's just not a rewatchable thing to me. I'm not gonna rewatch it if somebody maybe like in a couple of years or something, but if that, I know exactly what happens. There's no twists or turns or anything like that, so it's pretty straightforward.
There you go. Second film for me was Air from last year, and I got a hint to them. They made a movie about a sport that I don't care about and a shoe brand that I don't like, and kept my attention. So good on them for doing that. It's not a perfect film, though. I think the two major complaints I have is that there is no time spent with Michael Jordan at all in this movie. Mm-mm. Like, it's about his deal with Nike, and we do not get any of his perspective on it, which is really frustrating. The other big thing for me is that, like, it doesn't do like focusing on the brands or like anything like what's the word I'm looking for? Product placement. It doesn't do like product placement, but like it does that for a decade. So like every time like it moves from one scene to another, there's an establishing shot where you see all these brands of things from the 80s and the packaging, because it's clearly that they're like, oh, we got the person from our art department to do this, and it's really frustrating. Other than that, though, the plot does hook you in. The performances are good. Matt Damon has a sequence at the end of this movie where he is giving a speech directly to Michael Jordan, and the way that it is done, the way that it is shot, the way that it is edited is flawless. It is a masterclass in how you give a speech to someone in a film, and it is amazing. Absolutely one of the best parts of that movie. One of the better sequences in any film I've seen in quite a while. And so
I loved when he gave that speech, because it kind of hit like the audience as well.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's pretty good. You should watch it if you like it.
Yeah. And mine was my last one, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. This one was okay. If I was like in middle school or elementary school, this would be a lot funnier to me. But there's just some like kid jokes. It's all kid jokes and all like trying to don't be somebody who you're not, just be yourself and everybody will like you, pretty much. That's the plot of this whole movie. But it is a little bit funny. Just did give me a little chuckle, but that's it. So I gave it 42 out of 100.
And there you go. And those are it for the films that we have been assigned from the last week. So hopefully you all enjoyed that and were able to get something out of that. But if you want to see any other reviews we have, go to our letterbox, which are down below our names, and you can see everything we've ever reviewed. So nice. We have had a couple comments here, though. Dr. Kill Patient, I think, was a valid doctor.
Yeah, is that who's Dr. Kill Patient? Oh, is that from the
from Hair Tonic? Hair Tonic?
Oh, okay.
I'm struggling to remember if that was what it was from. You're gonna have to remind me. For the Dover Boys, I believe Chuck Jones thought he was going to be fired, considering how out there it was at the time. Also, Dan Backslide is awesome. Chuck Jones being the director of the short. So,
gotcha.
Yes, Hair Tonic. Okay, cool. I thought the Kill Patient was from there. Yeah, valid doctor. Totally. Alrighty, and before we get into the spinning of the wheel, we do have a couple things to get to. Kevin, let's talk about the box office from the last week.
I mean, big box office here with Inside Out 2 with 155 million, which is fantastic. Good on Pixar. Good on people getting their butts to the seats this week. And then actually surprising, Bad Boys Ride or Die with 33 million. Still pretty high up there with the money wise. King of the Planet of the Apes, 5.2 million. Garfield with 5 million. Wow, Garfield almost beat Planet of the Apes again.
Planet of the Apes was at 5th last week, and it's in 3rd this week.
Yeah.
So, and come back.
And then, hey, Watchers is still on here. So good for M. Night's daughter. So,
yeah, exactly. Biggest thing, Inside Out 2, getting 155 million.
Yeah,
it's brought back the summer box office. So, we had another comment here. Yes, Garfield finally got knocked off. Finally. Yep. It is down at 4th. I think people started to realize maybe we shouldn't go see this movie.
Maybe Chris Pratt isn't Mario. He's Garfield.
Righty. And let's go ahead and talk about the movies that are coming out this week. And I want to start it off with a special one. A movie that I am super excited for, which is Ghost, Right Here, Right Now, which is the first feature film from one of my favorite bands of all time. This starts playing in theaters on the 20th, which is Thursday. Combining live performances from Ghost's sold-out performance at the Kia Forum show in LA with a narrative story that picks up plot threads from the band's long-running webisode series. super excited for this. They've been wanting to make a film for a long time, and they finally are able to. This was originally only supposed to be 2 nights where they were doing this, and they had to expand it to 4 because they sold out showings everywhere.
Dang.
So really exciting for that. Second one is The Bike Riders, which was supposed to come out last year, but got pushed to this year. After a chance encounter, headstrong Kathy is drawn to Benny, member of a Midwestern motorcycle club, the Vandals. As the club transforms into a dangerous underworld of violence, Benny must choose between Kathy and his loyalty to the club. This has Oscar nominees Austin Butler and Tom Hardy, with Jodie Comer as well. I was looking forward to this. Looks like it's going to be pretty good. So, yeah, hopefully it will.
Looks interesting.
Third one is The Exorcism. A troubled actor begins to exhibit a disruptive behavior while shooting a horror film. His estranged daughter wonders if he's slipping back into his past addictions or if there's something more sinister at play. This is Russell Crowe continuing his supernatural horror kick that he seems to be on. Not even leaving the exorcism genre, which is interesting. I don't know how this movie is going to be.
Nope, me neither.
The reviews on IMDb from fans look to be a little bad. But hey, you never know. But it looks like it's going to be a fictionalized version of what happened behind the scenes of making The Exorcist. So
that's kind of cool. If they show more of like the behind the scenes stuff of that and what happened, that's cool to me.
Yeah. And then this week we are getting some early showings for Kinds of Kindness, which I am very excited for. The new Yorgos Lanthimos film, who directed Poor Things last year. A man seeks to break free from his predetermined path. A cop questions his wife's demeanor after her return from a supposed drowning, and a woman searches for an extraordinary individual prophesied to become a renowned spiritual guide. So it's a couple of stories in one film, so definitely going to be looking forward to this one. It has some pretty decent reviews, but we'll have to wait and see how it is when it fully releases.
Would that be like an anthology then?
Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty, and of course that is going to bring us to our favorite, our other favorite time of the night, which is spinning the Wheel of Fate. Let me go ahead and get it up on the screen here, because we are up to 134 things on the wheel. So if anyone has any comments, want to get in there, some suggestions for movies for Kevin and I to watch, or for Kevin and I to be tortured with, go ahead and put them in. We'd love to hear what you want us to watch. Ideally, try and get one maybe from each of you, maybe 2. We'll see.
If you're feeling spicy.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, sometimes you gotta put a little hot sauce on, I can hear those fingers typing all the way from over here. I know you've got a couple of suggestions. Come on, we gotta have something out there. I know some of y'all are thinking.
They're thinking all right.
What are we putting on here? What's getting added? Ooh, you have not, Joey. We have Total Recall. The original one.
Yep.
And Romancing the Stone.
Total Recall was with Arnold, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The remake was with Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
I've reviewed the remake, but I have not reviewed the original. I own the original, actually. I just haven't watched it yet. Alrighty. Nadia, do you have any recommendations? Matt out there? Another chance for you to win big. Put on a couple last week, though. So hopefully you get one picked this week. Day of the Dead, I think that's already on there. Let me double check. Dawn of the Dead is? No, so Day of the Dead is not. Okay. That's from 2007. Okay. Alrighty, anyone else? Looks like they have dropped off. Alrighty, we'll give it one more minute. And then we'll spin the wheel. I know it's kind of hard because we got a bunch of stuff on here. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more of each of these. One more each, where it's a Kevin's pick and a Garrett's pick.
Okay.
Just to make it interesting. The Visit, Nadia says.
Oh, yeah. I would love to watch that one.
Okay.
I haven't reviewed it.
A Boy Named Charlie Brown.
Is that Nadia again?
That is Joey.
Oh.
Alrighty. 15 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is going to be it. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel. I think I went first last week, Kevin, or did you go first? Do you remember?
Doesn't matter. I'll go first.
There we go. I like it. Let's go ahead and see what you get, Kevin. And Kevin gets Lost in Space. Guessing that would be the 90s one. With Joey from Friends. Alrighty. We'll go ahead and shuffle it up and we'll give it over to me. I don't remember who put on that film, but... Alrighty, there's a short. That makes it easy.
Sea Scouts.
I think that's, isn't that what they call the Scientology Navy people?
I have no idea.
Alrighty, and we'll spin it.
Are you going again, or is it me?
Yeah, I'll go again. Why not?
Okay.
Alrighty, Equilibrium from 2002. Alrighty, and Kevin, shuffle it up and spin. That is not for me, or that's for you, or for me, so we'll respin it. Alrighty.
Oh, okay.
And Kevin gets the Dances with Wolves director's cut. Oops. I went into caps lock, which is not what I wanted to do. Wolves director's cut. Alrighty. And let's go ahead and get my second movie. Barefoot Jen, part 1 and 2. That is a win for Matt Walls.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Okay, and let's go ahead and get a short for Kevin here real quick. Come on. If it doesn't land on a short, it will be the closest one. And I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is going to be 3 little something. Let's see here.
The faculty almost won again.
Where is it? 3 Little Bots.
Okay.
Is your short. Alrighty. And that is going to be it for the Wheel of Fate. Thank you, everyone, for submitting those as usual. Very much appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't win this week, hopefully you'll win next week. Mm-hmm. You never know when it'll happen.
Yep.
Alrighty. But that's going to be it for the scheduled part of the show. But if you have any comments, questions, concerns, criticisms, anything like that, go ahead and get those into the comments section now. It's a great time to do it. And Kevin, what have you been watching, playing, doing?
Not watching too much stuff right now. I'm kind of waiting for Demon Slayer to have all of their episodes so I can binge watch that. As well as My Hero Academia as well. So looking forward to those because the new arcs seem pretty cool. Other than that, I mean, hockey's still going on. It's the finals, so they play tomorrow though. But that's pretty much it. just keeping Millie content, pretty much. Try to get her to stop biting us. So
there you go. Yeah, for me, it's been I got back into playing Minecraft a little bit. It's just kind of something that I can mindlessly do, if I have a dead 10 minutes here or there. And then on Xbox, I've been playing a lot more Forza Horizon 5 just because I got back into it. So that's what I've been playing when I'm not watching movies. And then something I am working on, it's been here in the background of the video the entire time. But I've got a camera here that I'm going to be trying to do to make some other video content. So who knows? You might see something soon. But other than that, yeah, not a whole lot else going on. I've started trying to go work out more as much as I can, just because I want to lose weight. And so I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier as well. And that's really about it. So awesome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you. Joey, I'm still surprised there is writing on the wheel. Yeah. It's easy to actually somewhat read. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, it's getting big. I like that, though. I like when it's hard to see. You don't know what you get until it lands on it. That's what I want to see. If there were settings, I would remove the text from the wheel so you don't know what you get until it reveals it. That's the way I would
kind of cool.
But I don't think you can do that. But anyhow, well, that's going to be it. We've got a little bit of a shorter stream tonight. I mean, we had a lot more stories to talk about, but not as many movies that we watched. So that also kind of helped shorten things a little bit. But hopefully you all have a fantastic week. We have a new movie club that's going to go live this week with a movie that I've been waiting to talk about for a while, which is 8.5. So another Italian drama that is very well regarded. So if you're interested at all in what we have to think about that, the video will be going on Friday. And then other than that, we'll see you guys next Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know why I stumbled on that, but have a great rest of the night, everyone. Have a great week. And until next time, keep those eyes on the screen. Have a good one.